As we explore macro changes, we are turning the corner on the opportunity analysis canvas to look at macroeconomic change, to look at demographics and psychographics, as well as a variety of other factors that happen broadly in the economy and society. So our objectives here are to introduce this concept of macroeconomics and to think a little bit about the relationship of that with opportunity, immersion, and engagement. We also want to think about this as an opportunity to change or to fill gaps that are appearing in the market. So what are these changes? Well, there are changes in technology. There are changes in demographics. There are changes in psychographics. And there are also changes in political and regulatory factors and rules. So these are the types of economic factors and societal factors that we're going to examine that tend to be great opportunities for entrepreneurs and or present gaps among your competitors. So when we look at technology change, this is one of the most important triggers of change. We see that new technologies create immense opportunities for entrepreneurs. Portable cassette players translate into portable CD players, translate into portable MP3 players, translate into cell phones that have these capabilities. So you'll see that when technology changes, there were companies and industries and markets and complementary markets that were built around each of these technical changes. We want to think too about how significant technical change can impact and create entirely new markets. For us, what that means is that when you have large technology changes, the availability of a PC, the internet, mobile communications, it's a whole new ground for entrepreneurs to participate in and to launch new products and services into. And the bigger the change, the bigger the opportunity. And we also see technology trickle down into the other applications. Lasers that were used for medical devices now used in checkouts and now used in your desktop printer. So we see technologies, again, introduce a variety of opportunities for entrepreneurs. Commercialization is certainly key to that, and we want to recognize that as well. We want to think about the commercial viability of change. And not all technologies are going to have that, but we want to be thoughtful of how they're interconnected. And we want to think about the interplay of the technological change with industry dynamics and what we can do to compete against these firms, particularly as the cost of participating decreases. The second element we want to think about as we discuss macroeconomic factors is demographics, the demographic changes that are going on in the space, the observable changes. A few examples of that here in the U.S. include aging population. We are on the average getting older, increasing ethnic diversity in the U.S., an unhealthier society. We are, versus the rest of the world, a bit heavier, a bit unhealthier in a variety of measures. What does that mean for entrepreneurs? Well, each presents opportunity. Each trend offers new opportunities for entrepreneurs. When we think about the aging population in the U.S., we see an emergence of assisted living centers that are something different than I'm living alone or independently, or I go into a nursing home that has high cost and perhaps more attention than I need from healthcare providers. Maybe there's a middle ground where I need some help or different degrees of help or help with some things but not all things. And you see a large volume of these entrepreneurs get engaged in assisted living centers. Spanish language radio, television, and other ethnic focused radio and television and media is something that's emerging at a rapid pace in the U.S. as well to serve new markets with new interest and needs. We also, in recent years, have seen a rapid surge of organic food stores, where the organic food products have gone beyond of just being available in certain parts of the U.S. It used to be Los Angeles and New York and Colorado. In time, it's gone into virtually everywhere. It's gone not only into the corners of your local grocer, but it's been the entire grocery store. The Whole Foods, the Moms, the Yes, the Natural Grocers in the U.S., and others elsewhere as well. And it's become to the point where in your existing grocers, all of the organic product is no longer bought back in the corner in the back of the store by itself. It's being pulled forward and it's being put alongside its non-organic elements too. So what we see is that there's a variety of opportunity that's out there, and we're even seeing a lot of students on campus develop food-based ventures. In that context, again, they're looking for a product that is made locally, that is more natural, that is more organic, and in that context, it's a unique advantage against the large grocers and the large companies that are out there. So demographic trends, perceptions present immense opportunities for entrepreneurs. Psychographics is related to that. Psychographics is more oriented towards how people feel, how people think, what influences their buyer preferences. And what can we do as entrepreneurs to think about brands and markets that are evolving and are interested in behaving differently. So this is a little bit at the intersection of some of the interest in healthy eating, but it also might be at the intersection of people that prefer to support local farmers, that prefer to buy their food from a local grocer. And in that context, again, changing dynamics are presenting new opportunities for entrepreneurs in this element of psychographics. The fourth level that we're going to evaluate and discuss briefly is political and regulatory changes. What we mean here, if there are elements of deregulation that may open entrepreneurs opportunities. There are also different elements where there are changes that are emerging and preferences that are emerging and shifts that are emerging or laws that are changing that make it easier for entrepreneurs to compete. So in summary, we want to think about the direct relationships that may exist between macroeconomic factors and new venture opportunities. We want to think about where are changes or gaps. Are there things going on in your community where the demographics are changing and that's changing the needs and wants of the market? And can you do something about that to deliver a new product or service? We want to think about technical changes. Are there new technologies emerging or new tools that are emerging that you can have access to and let that play a role in your new venture creation? We want to think about the psychographic changes. What's going on in the space of how people think or feel? And is there a need that's there? Is there a gap that you can fill? And then lastly, from the political and regulatory environment, are there rules that are changing? Are there laws that are changing? Are there new opportunities that's birthed for entrepreneurs from there as well?